Hi friends, my name is Siddharth. Welcome to our channel Mango Programming. In this video, we will going to understand how to link two visits or different visits, or how to show and hide the visit on the based on click on some links. Like if we have a visit one which contains the list of menus. Okay, if I click to one menu, so on the based on that menu, the other visit details should show here. Like if I click this incident, the incident form or incident list should show here. Okay, and if I click to problem, the problem list should show here. Okay, let's take an real-time example. So this is our ServiceNow homepage. Okay, logged in as a system administrator. So assume this is a visit contains different list of applications. Okay, and this is a container which contains many visits, like incident, many number of visits are there. Okay, and if I click here incident dot list, okay, or incident only, we have this is a list, or you can say a menu. So if I click to this incident, so related on what we have clicked here, the data should show here, the visit should show here. So here you can see there are not, you can see there are in background there are different visits like incident, problem, and many things. Okay, if I click to incident, the incident visit should show here, and other than except that incident, every visit gets hide. Okay, so this is what we have to achieve here. So to achieve this, we have to create the three visits. The one visit which contains the list of menus, and other two visits, one contains the incident list and another contains the problem list. I will not going to show you the complete list of incident and problems here, how to fetch that. In the next video I will show you like how to fetch the incident list on the portal in incident visits. Okay, so let's create the visit first. So this is at the service portal configuration page. From here, if you go to here, you can create the visits. So let's create a visit first. We will create the menu list of menu. Okay, and we will create another visit which will be the incident list, and the third visit as well, which will be the problem visit. So create incident list of incident. Okay, and this should be the list of problem. So we have created the visit. The first one is list of menus, and the second one is list of incident, and third one is list of problems. Okay, so we will going to define first the menus or anchor link over here. Okay, so this is our HTML template, client script, and server script, as you all know. Okay, so let's start with designing. So this is the visit of menus. So we will going to define the menus, or we will going to use the anchor link. Okay, so anchor link which contains href class, it would be equals to, we are going to use a predefined class provided by the bootstrap each column. Okay, and then would be ng click. This is the Angular directive. Here we will going to define the function, give a function name select fill. Okay, select fill, and we will pass a parameter so that we can get to know that on which anchor link has been clicked. Okay, so incident, and then finally just close it, give a name of incident, and same we will going to define for the problem as well. Okay, here, and let's change this parameter name problem, give it the problem, and we will define a class as well, ng class. This is also Angular directive, and here we will going to give curly braces, that is called we will going to use for the binding purpose. Here we will define active function, and would be equals to the incident which we have passed here. Okay, so incident, right, and same we will define for the problem as well. Let's change this name problem. Okay, let me close this client logic because right now we don't need, and change this name as well, problem, right? Let's increase the size. Okay, so if I save it and see, we got the incident and the problem. We got two menus, two anchor link menu, but these two are in horizontal, so we have to provide some css or styling, then we can arrange it whatever we like it, however we like. Okay, so let's give it a name, define a class should be equals to vertical menu. Okay, so that we can use this name and define a complete css property here. Yeah, which I've already defined. I'll explain it just to you, or let me just clear it and define it again. Okay, so vertical menu dot, hope you all know, like this is to define a css we have to give a class name here, and we will going to use this name with a dot. If I provide here id, okay, then here should be hash. Okay, remember many times we used to do mistake. If I do here id, then instead of dot we have to use this hashtag, but we will going to going with this class only. Okay, so whatever the property, css property we want to apply this TV complete division tag, we will going to use this class name. Okay, and let's give some property which would be background color, background color something, give it right, see the changes should be, see we got the background color red. Okay, and we will going to give these anchor links. Now we have given this complete division, the background color for the complete division is red. Okay, and now we have to give the styling for this anchor link. So how to give an, we can use direct a, but or we can go with something like this. So what class name and then the member of that class name. Okay, so vertical menu and then a, and then whatever the property we want to apply. Okay, so we'll go with the background color would be, just give it gray. Okay, and the color of text would be black. Give it the black. Okay, and display as well, how it should display in a block format. These are the css property. You can, if you know, that's good, otherwise you can go with the, if you look for the HTML color code and or the CSS style, CSS style. Okay, and let's, from here you can learn it. Okay, W3 school, there are many styling, so from here you can get to know that. Okay, so where we are, yeah, here, and give it text decoration none. Okay, or if you're not going to define, that's also fine if it does not need it. Okay, and let's give a, or just first of save it. Okay, see, actually the first we have given the red here. Okay, and see it's not applied green because we have the two links. Okay, and both the links are in the green color, so that's why it's showing it, this red got disappear. Okay, or actually we don't need this. Okay, remove it. Instead of this, this is the, see, the width is taking the complete, so instead of that we can define some width would be 200 pixel. Yeah, and yeah, perfectly fine. Let's give some hover link on that menu, or before that, see, both are like very sticky ones, so give us some padding as well. Padding would be anything, like give it 15 pixel. Okay, yeah, now it's look perfect. no, both are in green. If I click a bit, it doesn't look like it is on where it is hover. So let's give it some hover property, which would be vertical menu, okay, and a dot on colon hover. So if the menu would be hover, so what property will apply? Let's change the color just only. Background color. Let's give it red now. Okay. So if I hover, what color would be? See, on hover it changes into the red one. Okay. That's all for now. We want this, yes, or you can we can define the active one as well. So like see here, if I refresh this page, okay, so the active linked is incident, so the active one looks green, okay, and this is the hover property. So active color, active one, which color would be, if you want, let me do it actually. Vertical menu a colon active, and let's give an active property that would be background color. Give it to some HTML color code. Let me find out HTML color code. Let's give it this one, active one. I'm using any color, you can use whatever you like it, okay. And give a text color as well, that would be white, fine. So for now we have defined the list of incident and problem, okay. So let's start writing a logic so that we can if I click to this incident, some logic should apply, okay. So to write this logic, we will going to define this function here, okay. That function would be the function name equals to function keyword, and we will pass a parameter as well, because the same function we're going to use for this incident and this problem as well, okay. So this parameter will different, okay. So this is what we have passed the parameter, which will be this incident, or if I click to problem, the problem should pass here in selection. If I click the incident should pass here. But this function is wrong, so we will going to define, to relate these HTML template and client, we will going to use this dollar scope as a keyword, okay. Dollar scope dot select a function name, and this parameter we will pass here. And another parameter we would need, let me define it here, root scope. Later we will going to use the broadcast method. So for the broadcast method, we will going to use this method, this parameter as well, and one more parameter we will require, that is timeout. I will explain where do we need these parameters. So for the current, we are just using this scope dot the function name and function keyword and passing the parameters, okay, selection. And let me get this selection into a variable, that to define the variable c, this variable we have here, c dot whatever the variable name you want to use. I'm going to use selected pill, some relatable name, like the selected pill would be whatever the the selected pill would be passed, we will going to use that, okay, equals to, and this function name, the function parameter here. So from here we are gathering that data into the selected pill option, or you can say variable, okay. And then we will pass this selected pill through the broadcast, that we will going to use dollar root scope dot broadcast, okay. So this is the reason why I already passed root scope dot broadcast. If you don't know how to use the broadcast and on method, in the last video I have explained how to use broadcast, how to connect, how to pass the data from one visit to another visit. So we have to pass the data. If I click to the problem should get passed. If I click to incident, the incident should get passed. So on the basis of that passed data, what we have to show or what we have to not show. So that will completely depends on what data has been passed in or what we exactly. So let's define. So broadcast contains two things. One would be the key and the second would be the value. So let's define a key, something relatable like show hide visit. Okay, VIDCET. Okay, we have passed the key and now we have to pass the value. So our value is the selection as our value. Okay, let's do it this. So to close the function we have to give this a semicolon as well, because in the ServiceNow to close the function with the semicolon, this is a complete one statement you can say. Okay, so we have defined or we have written down this logic for this our ng click function that is selectable. Okay, so if I click to this incident here, so on click of this incident parameter will pass from the function this, and incident would pass through the broadcast and we will going to receive that into the visit. Okay, so to receive this incident we will going to use this incident list here. So here we will going to receive that. So how to receive that passed data from menu, we will going to define the logic here. Okay, so to define we will pass this root scope parameter. Okay, and scope as well, and timeout. I will tell you how where we will going to use this timeout parameter as well. For current purpose I've just passed it. Okay, so let's write let's receive that here whatever we have passed the value, let's receive it here. Okay, to receive it we will going to define dollar root scope dot dollar on. Okay, and close it. Here we will going to use key value same. So our key was show hide visit, and then comma. Here also on receive contains a function which is function something like this, and it will contain event. Okay, event and data. This is a function to receive the data. Okay, and in this data we will use gather scope capital small scope dot show visit equals to data. This is another variable we have defined show visit here, and let me give it an initial value for this. That would be dollar scope equals to incident. Okay, so it will do that. So when on receives the value into the data, okay, so whatever the data has been passed from here, that will receive in this data, and that will transfer to or validate with this show visit. If the show visit value here is equals to dot here show visit, so if on receives the data in this data, that is incident if receives, and incident is matched with this show data and data, so it will work. Okay, and for how long it will work, let me define it. Okay, so that would be the time out dot not timeout dot not dot actually function, and function without any parameter. Okay, and that would be here. So this complete statement should go to and with semicolon. The another one will also going to close, because this was for this timeout. Yeah, that's all for now. Not here actually, we will not gonna close this event. Perfectly fine. Okay, so what we did here, so we have received the data from, if I click to this incident, the incident will pass in through selection, and in incident list we will receive the data from on, and we will verify with the show data initial value. If the value is incident here and whatever data we have received here is both are equal, then visit should show. Okay, otherwise it should not show. So this is what we have defined here. Here the timeout would be if the data is not with equal to this, and it will time out or release, that will not basically not going to show. Okay, so the same logic we will going to define for the problem as well. So let's copy this and we will going to define here in problem. Okay, and this initial value as well, but the initial value would be here the problem. Let's assume, or you can understand in this way, assume this problem visit, the name of this visit is problem. Okay, and for the list, the name of this list visit is an incident. Okay, so in on whatever the data we will receive, that we will going to compare with this visit. Okay, in this name, if the name and the data which we have received both are equal, then only this timeout function will work. Not actually the incident or the list or visit will show, otherwise it will not show. So this is what we have defined, or written the logic over here. Okay, so exactly for the same here, and see the both are black, that should not be here, so because of the parameter. So let's pass the parameter as well. Let me copy it from here. Okay, save it, and for the incident also let me see. Okay, so now we got the three visits. The one visit which contains the list of anchor links. Okay, and the another visit which will basically it should show the complete list of incident, but we will not going to use that function, or we will not going to understand that logic. For current purpose we will going to just understand how to show and hide. So we have written the logic for it, how to show and hide, and we have defined incident heading tag so that we can differentiate our visits is working or not. Okay, and same for the problem as well. So we have defined the logic. Now let me uh, create a page and pass these, or just fetch these all these visits on that page. Okay, so from here we can create a page. That page would be, let me define it, demo. Okay, and let's get all those here. The first would be a menu, list of menu. We got this visit incident, the menu of the visit. Okay, and we will going to use that another visit, that is list of incident here, and the list of problem as well. So if I run this page, see both are showing now, because at the running time on load we didn't define anything. So if I click to the problem, it will not work. Okay, so we have to define the on load, the current one, which should show and which should hide. Okay, like if we didn't do anything with this, so we have to, like here, when it should hide, so we will define here ng if. Okay, and g if equals to, we will use this what variable are here, this show visit equals to incident. Okay, and same goes for problem. So only when this widget will show if if the keyword show widget is problem. Okay, this is what we have defined here, and as well. Now let me refresh this page where it is. Yeah, so if I click to the incident, still not working. There is something problem. Let me check. Yeah, because we didn't define the current one on load. What should be show on loading. Okay, so we will going to define load one as well. So on load, which visit should show. So that would be c dot select which we have defined here, not method, selected will actually. So if the selected fill is incident, okay, then timeout a function which will contains no parameter, and we will define here dollar root scope dot dollar broadcast, and here would be the keyword is show widget, and then it would be incident. Okay, and close it, and let's even give us some time here, because this function contains the two parameter. Okay, the one which we have used complete here one parameter, and the other parameter would be give some milliseconds, 500 milliseconds, and close it. Okay, now it should work. It's working now, I believe. If I click to problem, yeah, so it's working correctly. If I click to incident, the incident related data should show here, and if I click to the problem related data should show here. So for current video, we have just created 3 widgets. The one widget which contains a link, anchor links, and the another 2 widgets. One contains the incident list, a heading tag, and the another one is containing the problem list heading tag. Basically we get the requirement something like this. If I click to the incident, the list of incidents should show here, something like this. See here, if I click incident dot list, yeah, so the incident list should show here. Okay, so in our next video, for this video, this is the only we should in this video, a current topic was something to just link the visits and show and hide concept. Okay, so for next video we will going to understand, if I click to the incident, the incident data should fetch here and should show, so the list of incidents should fetch here. Okay, so for that you have to watch our next video. For current that's it only. Thank you for watching, and if you have liked the video, or if you understood something, so definitely like and subscribe the video and share with your friends. Thank you so much.